My name is Nancy Norris Fowler. I'm the president of the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education, and I would like to call to order our meeting tonight and ask Mrs. Saradaki to call the roll.
Mrs. Brody? Here. Dr. Clancy? Here. Dr. Lucas? Here. Mr. Murray? Mrs. Sergiani? Here. Mrs. Williams? Here. Mrs. Wentworth? Mrs. Cleary? Here. Mrs. Couch? Here. Quorum is present.
Thank you. Before we begin, let's have you join us in a salute to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So this is one of the exciting board meetings when we get to have students present, and I know Dr. Case would like to welcome everyone this evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Bauer. So on behalf of the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone here this evening as we celebrate the accomplishments of our student athletes for the memorable season of winter sports they have given us. Sam Mustafeld emerged among a highly competitive field of wrestlers to capture the silver medal and place as the second top wrestler in the state of New Jersey. Tonight we honor also Izzy Mozu for winning the North 2 Group 3 Sectional Championship for shot put by throwing the shot over 50 feet. Our varsity bowling team had a phenomenal season with 13 wins and 4 losses, completing their season as the North 2 Group 3 finalists, the Union County Conference Watchung Division champions, and the Union County champions. The 33 members of the girls' varsity swim team captured their 3rd consecutive Union County Swimming Championship and ended their season as the North 2 Group B state sectional finalists. The 25 members of the boys' varsity swim team won their 3rd consecutive sectional title in the North 2 Group B sectional championship. And some of our swimmers competed at the Meet of Champions, where they brought home gold, silver, and bronze medals. All of the athletes that are here tonight are to be commended for your dedication, your time commitment, and all you have given to your sport. But what impresses me most about you is your determination and your camaraderie, your enthusiasm, and the encouragement you give to one another. This really sets you apart from other students because you really care and you support teamwork. These are skills that we will take with you and that will help you succeed as you go on in life. But all the accolades that you received tonight would not be possible without the hard work of your coaches and the constant encouragement and dedication of your parents. So I'd like you to stand, turn around, and acknowledge your parents for all the help and support they've given you, as well as your coaches. That they will read. We will invite you up to your appropriate group, and board members will be reading the resolutions, and then at the very end we will need a second. We'll need to have someone call the resolution, and then we'll need a second and a vote. So with that, Mrs. Bauer, our board president, is going to begin this evening.
So I would like to ask Izzy Mosey and his coaches, Rich McGriff and Jeff Kogo, to come up, please. Whereas Scotch Plains Fanwood High School senior Izzy Mosey has enjoyed a successful track and field career. It has your whole name here. And whereas a thrower, Izu specialized in the shot put event and earned champion status for his best performance on February 11, 2017. And wherein he became the North 2 Group 3 sectional champion for shot put by throwing the shot over 50 feet on his final throw of the day. And whereas Izu continued his strong shot put performance at the Group 3 meet on February 18, 2017, placing him as one of the top 6 athletes to advance to the State Meet of Champions. The State Meet of Champions is an individual track meet comprised of the top 24 athletes per event for the state of New Jersey. And whereas Izu Mosey, directed by coaches Rich McGriff and Jeff Kogel, exhibited outstanding talent and dedication throughout the season, Izu received well-deserved recognition from fellow students, staff, and the Scotch Plains and Van Wyck communities for his outstanding efforts and accomplishments. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Van Wyck Board of Education recognizes and congratulates Izu Mosey and his coaches Rich McGriff and Jeff Kogel for their outstanding achievements and wishes them continued success in all future endeavors.
So I don't know if you're doing photos now.
You have to come shake hands. Sorry. I should have reminded you. Everyone wants to shake your hands.
Now I'd like to call Tanya Williams, board member.
Sam Westenfeld. Whereas Scotch Plains Family High School junior Sam Westenfeld competed at the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association's High School Wrestling Championship held in Atlantic City the weekend of March 4th and 5th, 2017. And whereas Sam, wrestling the 182 weight class, won first place at the Union County Tournament held at January 14, 2017 at Union High School. First place at the District 13 Tournament held on February 18, 2017 at Scotch Plains Family High School. And first place at the Region 4 Tournament held on February 25, 2017 at Union High School. And whereas Sam joined wrestlers from around the state on Sunday, March 5, 2017 in Atlantic City, where he was honored as the #2 top wrestler in the state of New Jersey. No other Scotch Plains Family High School wrestler has accomplished this level since 2004. And whereas the level of excellence achieved during the 2016-2017 wrestling season required the dedication, talent, and determination of Sam Westenfeld, and the guidance and direction of head wrestling coach Mark Fabiano and assistant coaches John Nye, Jesse Martinez, and volunteer coach William Hardin III. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates Sam Westenfeld and head wrestling coach Mark Fabiano and assistant coaches John Nye, Jesse Martinez, and volunteer coach William Hardin III for their outstanding achievements and wish them continued success in all future endeavors.
Sergeant. And at this time, Jean Cleary, Board Vice President.
We would like the team members, boys bowling team members to come on up. Whereas the Scotch Plains Family High School varsity bowling team completed their season with three finalists, the Union County Conference Watchung Division champions, and the Union County champions with an overall record of 13 wins and 4 losses. And whereas the Union County Championship was completed in a bigger format that allows a 5-person team to cooperatively compete together, in contrast to a typical format where bowlers complete their own frames and games. The 2-day Baker tournament was a best-of-5 series where the Scotch Plains Family bowling team defeated Washington, Wisconsin 3-1. Elizabeth 3-0 and Amy 3. This was the first county title since 1981. And whereas this was a true team effort that produced 4 top 10 individual county honors: Charles Butler, 10th place; Spencer Vaughn, 9th place; Grady Such, 5th place; and Dan Brownmore, 4th place. And whereas the 2016-2017 varsity bowling team, directed by head coach Brian Gracie, exhibited outstanding talent, dedication, and teamwork throughout the season. This team received well-deserved recognition from fellow students, staff, and Scotch Plains and family communities for their outstanding efforts and accomplishments. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates the 2016-17 varsity bowling team and their head coach, Ryan Laracy, for their outstanding achievements and wishes them continued success in all future endeavors.
And now at this time, I would like to call up Rachel Mazes, Stephanie Judge, Danielle Mazes, and Erica Frazier. If you're here, come on up. And I'd like to call up Dr. Karen Kulakowski, who will read the resolution on your behalf.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Sharkey, and yes.
Whereas the New Jersey Interscholastic Athletic Association has created opportunities for individual student athletes to showcase their talent by providing Meet the Champion events for select sports, and whereas included in the sports have the Meet of the Champions for swimming. Every individual and relay swimming event is eligible for Meet of Champions qualification by posting time set by the NJSIAA. And whereas the Scotch Plains Family High School junior Rachel Mazes qualified for the 100 breaststroke and continued a remarkable second high school swimming season by earning the silver medal, placing her second in the state of New Jersey. And whereas the Scotch Plains Family High School medley relay team comprised of Stephanie Judge, Junior Rachel Mazes, Junior Danielle Dee Mazes, and Junior Erica Frazier qualified for and defended their prior championship by earning the gold medal, placing first in the state of New Jersey. And whereas Rachel Mazes and the medley relay team, directed by coaches Jessica Holnick
and Judy Sharkey exhibited outstanding talent and dedication throughout the season. These swimmers received well-deserved recognition from fellow students, staff, and the Scotch Plains and family communities for their outstanding efforts and accomplishments. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates Rachel Mazes, Stephanie Judge, Danielle Dee Mazes, and Erica Frazier, and their coaches Jessica Holnick and Judy Sharkey for their outstanding achievements and best wishes for continued success in all their future endeavors. Congratulations.
Now I'd like to call up Cindy Clancy Waring, and if our coaches could come back up. I know that Coach Holman just loves this part of it. And we have our girls swim team come up and stand up here and face the audience. Girls swim team.
Whereas the 2016-2017 Scotch Plains Family High School varsity girls swim team achieved an impressive swimming record of 14 wins and 2 losses. And whereas the varsity girls swim team captured the Union County title at the Union County Girls Swim Championships for the 3rd consecutive year, held on Sunday, January 22nd, 2017 at Rutgers University. And whereas this varsity girls swim team, consisting of the following 33 members, were the North 2 Group B state sectional finalists held at Raritan Bay Valley YMCA on Friday, February 17, 2017. Aubrey Bagdons, Olivia Garcia, Juliana Blanco, Hannah Davis, Rachel DiFabrizio, Anna Dunches, Maya Dunches, Lauren Eck, Erica Frazier, Mackenzie Inniker, Natalie Jablonski, Caitlin Jackman, Stephanie Judge, Nicole Kenny, Dee Dee Mazes, Rachel Mazes, Caroline McNichol, Alyssa Monjovi, Amelia Morel, Nina Paradiso, Molly Pritchard, Sophie Pritchett, Kara Raderman, Isha Rao, Ellie Richard, Megan Small, Michaela Bailey, Sydney Von Olsen, Erin Walling, Caroline Warren, Chloe Yang, Lucy Zhang, and Allie Zimmerman. Whereas the 2016-2017 girls varsity swim team, directed by head coach Jessica Holnick and assistant coach Judy Sharkey, exhibited outstanding talent, dedication, and teamwork throughout the season. This team received well-deserved recognition from fellow students, staff, and the Scotch Plains and families communities for their outstanding efforts and accomplishments. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates the 2016-2017 girls varsity swim team and their coaches, Jessica Holnick and Judy Sharkey, for their outstanding achievements and wishes them continued success in all their future endeavors.
Sharkey are already up here, so at this time, I would like to ask Josh Cohen to come forward and Chris Bondarowitz.
Whereas the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association, NJSIAA, has created opportunities for individual student athletes to showcase their talent by providing Meet of Champion events for select sports, and whereas included in the sports that have a Meet of Champions event is swimming. Every individual and relay swimming event is eligible for Meet of Champions qualification by posting times set by the NJSIAA. And whereas the Scotch Plains Family High School sophomore Josh Cohen qualified for the 500 freestyle and continued his remarkable second high school swimming season by earning the bronze medal, placing him third in the state of New Jersey. And whereas the Scotch Plains Family High School senior and United States Naval Academy committed recruit Chris Bondarowitz qualified for the 100 breaststroke and completed his high school swimming career by earning the gold medal, placing him first in the state of New Jersey. And whereas Josh Cohen and Chris Bondarowitz, directed by coaches Jessica Holman and Judy Sharkey, exhibited outstanding talent and dedication throughout the season, Josh and Chris received well-deserved recognition from fellow students, staff, and Scotch Plains family communities for their outstanding efforts and accomplishments. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates Josh Cohen and Chris Bondarowitz and the coaches Jessica Holman and Judy Sharkey for their outstanding achievements and wishes them continued success in all future endeavors.
Stephanie, would you like to come forward? And at this time, we would like the boys swim team to come up and situate yourself across the front and face the audience.
Whereas the 2016-17 Scotch Plains Family High School varsity boys swim team achieved an impressive swimming record of 15 wins and 2 losses this season. And whereas the varsity boys swim team competed at the Union County meet where they placed second. And whereas the varsity boys swim team won their 3rd consecutive sectional title with a 91-79 victory over Summit in the North 2 Group B sectional championship held at the Raritan Bay YMCA on Thursday, February 16th. And whereas it is most fitting that the accomplishments of this team be properly recognized and that congratulations be conveyed to the following members of the varsity boys swim team: Christian Blanco, Chris Bondarowitz, Drew Burfine, Eric Chang, Josh Cohen, Tyler Daniscus, Jack Deach, Daniel Donaldson, Miranda Gate, Nick Heath, Sean Ho, Ayush Shah, Stanley Canoe, Brian Kenny, Jake Mallett, Aiden Maloney, James Maloney, William Mebbs, Ethan Melville, Ethan Marvell, Brody Rapp, Lucas Rout, Alan Shao, Ethan Svayberg, Tristan Yang. Whereas the level of excellence achieved during the 2016-17 swim season required dedication, skill, and creativity of the coaching staff, which was led by head coach Jessica Holnick and assistant coach Judy Sharkey, and a team of swimmers infused with talent and determination. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates the 2016-17 varsity boys swim team and their coaches Jessica Holnick and Judy Sharkey for their outstanding achievements and wishes them continued success in all future endeavors.
acknowledge Dr. David Heisey, our high school principal, who's in the audience and is a great supporter of all of our athletic teams and all of our programs at the high school. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Ryan Miller, our assistant principal for athletics, who will share a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. I want to personally thank Pat King for all the hard work that went into these resolutions tonight. Pat and I must have emailed at least 6 dozen times to get all of these correct, accurate, and to move forward with them. So Pat, thank you so much for all your help. For all of the athletes, everything about this winter was remarkable. Every single event, every single game was just an outstanding experience to watch. I don't know if we'll ever have a winter like this again. So maybe my juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, you can make me eat my own words next year. I'm happy to mark this date on my calendar every year to come out and honor all of you. I'm happy to mark certain dates down that I know. I'm going to the Raritan YMCA, I'm going back, I'm going to other places, and I enjoy that. So thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. To the seniors, we're going to miss you. You're leaving a great legacy behind. To the underclassmen, live up to them and exceed what they're doing. They've left you a great path, go follow, and have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming.
So we have one piece of business left. I'd like to have a second for all of our resolutions this evening. Okay, and all those in favor? Opposed? I knew. It would be unanimous. So your resolutions are official now, and congratulations again from the entire board and the community for all your hard work and dedication. And I know there are refreshments in the back, so we'd like you to enjoy those and the rest of the evening. Thank you. So we already have been in public. We're going back into public. We were able to have a very nice event already this evening, recognizing many outstanding students. And certainly we can share that with the press. Students who in track and field, our bowling team, we had the #1 athlete in wrestling in the state, our boys and girls swim team. We had first places on a number of these in the state, so we're very proud of the students, and we had a chance to recognize them earlier, so we're running a little bit behind. We just met in executive session, and we also discussed personnel issues, HIB, and legal issues. So now that we're back in public, we've already done the salute to the flag, and we're going to move on. I should mention that notice of the meeting was given to the Borough Clerk of Fanwood, Township Clerk of Scotch Plains, to the Times, and to the Patch. And we do have additions to the agenda. We had a letter from Sundar Beal regarding busing, and then we have 3 business items, 19 BUS that I'm aware of, 19 BUS about the Morris County Cooperative, 20 BUS the disposal and sale of equipment, and 21 BUS which is the application submission for the safety grant. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that, now we have, according to Scotch Plains Fanwood Policy 0164 and 0165, an opportunity for the public to come to the microphone with a limit of 2 minutes per speaker. And if you come to the microphone, please give us your name and the town in which you reside.
Hi, my name is Seth Richer. I live at 61 Madison Avenue in Fanwood. I'm here to talk today about the drainage problems in School 1, in the field and the playground. Living on Madison Avenue, my backyard backs up to the field back there, and I have a pretty good view as to what's going on. in my 8 or 9 years that I've lived here, I've never seen drainage as poor as what's been happening there now. And the playground, there always used to be a little bit of water that would stand for a little while, but it's so bad now that Mr. Fiore has had to rope off the playground, and it's just sitting there. We had rain, I think the last time was Tuesday morning, and there are still, puddles would be selling it short, a lot of water on the playground. Also, right up at my fence line, still on School One's property, a river that runs from my house would, I guess, be the middle, 3 houses to the left, 3 houses to the right, just standing there. There's nowhere for this to drain. We had the parking lot that was installed, or put in over the winter, I guess. And I guess I first want to ask, there's some confusion amongst my neighbors. When we were going through that process of putting the parking lot in, drainage was discussed, and we were told that there was going to be drainage installed on portions of the back of our street to take care of this issue. And some of our neighbors think that it was installed, other neighbors think that the drainage was not installed. So I'm here first to ask, what was put in with this parking lot?
The concern that was brought to us was drainage from the areas where the modular buildings were built on School One. The drainage ran off the roof and onto the ground and into the neighbors' yards that were lower than the School One property. What we did is we tied those downspouts into underground drainage to run under the ground and into the stormwater system.
So
that was the
nothing-
drainage issue that was brought to us at the time.
No,
Yes.
that's not quite correct, because there definitely were concerns from the residents of Madison Avenue concerned with paving the parking lot up on top of a hill, and where that water was then going to drain, which is down the hill towards our houses. And I have never noticed this river that I spoke of a second ago. It was a good rain. I'm not going to sell it short from the other day, but we've had much worse rains in my 8 or 9 years that I've been here. This is out of control, and it's not going anywhere.
What I was going to say is, we did install drainage for the parking lot. That has its own detention basin between the parking lot and the maintenance yard. So all the water that goes to the parking lot runs to the maintenance detention.
That's all fine and good, but since this project was done, now we have a river. So I would like to ask 2 things. Number 1, long term, we need to figure out a way for this drainage, this water to get drained out. And number 2, I have in virtually my backyards on School One property, sitting water, standing water. It's not going anywhere. It's going to rain tomorrow. So as far as I can tell, I'm going to have water there all next week. So that's probably a week and a half or so. That's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes and who knows what other kind of health issues. It's not safe for my children in my backyard. It's also not safe for the children at the School One playground.
Well, I think one good piece of good news is there are no mosquitoes yet, and I think, didn't you speak to Mrs. Saradaki, and she was going to follow up?
Yes, as I explained to you
yesterday,
I
right.
spoke with her about long-term issues, and then I called back today to ask what my short-term issues were, that I want that water out of there. It's just sitting right behind my house. And fine, you want to say mosquitoes? I can't speak of the breeding habits of mosquitoes. I know that that's not what you're supposed to have, is standing water. But I know other things are not supposed to be, you're not supposed to have standing water.
Well, as I explained to you, the engineer did notice one area that the contractor has to fix, because he said that there is an area that's damming up the water that the contractor has to fix as far as the grade of the ground. He said that there's, and I'm not sure exactly where that area is, but it might be what you're talking about with that river, because he did say there was an area that needed to be remediated by the contractor. The contractor has been there this week working, and will probably be there again next week.
When was the contractor there?
He's been putting up fencing. He's been there this week.
So what's going to happen?
So we're following up with the engineer and with the contractor.
Okay, so that's the long term, I assume, right?
Well, it may be
Well,
long, it may be
that's a
shorter.
short
I mean,
term.
the engineer,
But I don't see, I need, this part's gotta get out.
But I think we have to realize that we're not going to get a contractor working out there in the rain, right? So it's going to
It
rain
hasn't been raining for the
tomorrow,
last 2
but it is
days.
going to rain tomorrow, and
I
today
know
it's
that.
done, right? So I think what we could do is perhaps Mrs. Saradaki could circle back with the engineer and the,
I already have, yeah.
yes, and then
Also-
get some kind of scheduling, so we could perhaps answer that better.
Also, on a much more personal level, I never had water in my backyard until this project happened. And now I'm getting water coming to my property, just on that back edge, okay? Now, I spoke with Ms. Saradaki about this back in December, and Ms. Saradaki came out with the team into my backyard, and they decided that well, the water couldn't go over the ridge. I mean, I agreed with her, there's no way the water was gonna go over a ridge because that works against gravity. I'm still getting water, and it's not good. I can't let my kids go out in the backyard. The water's coming underneath. I want someone to come out, and I need to have someone figure out why am I getting water in my backyard? It was fixed down on my neighbor's end, but it wasn't fixed on my neighbor's end, because they're all still getting water, so.
Well, what we did was try to remove as much of the water from our property as we could without going into their property. With how low their yard is, they will get water runoff from both sides. The neighbors that have lower property. What we tried to do is,
I never got water until this happened.
no, you were talking about your neighbors, that's why I addressed that.
I'm gonna talk about it.
I tried to talk about you today. I'll have our engineer come out and look again to see how it could be going under the dirt that's there and into your yard.
That's the only way it happened, because nothing else is changing on that side.
so Mrs. Saradaki did speak with you at length today, and she did indicate that we are following up. The engineer is coming out, and he is assessing what needs to be done next. So, I mean, with all due respect, we can't stop Mother Nature from raining. And until the engineer tells us what the next steps are, once we know what they are, then we'll follow up.
With all due respect, I'm sure, because Ms. Saradaki didn't see it. She wanted to blow me off, and she did not want to do what I was saying.
I think it's not a matter of blowing you off. She can't wave a wand and make something happen instantly.
She was only concerned about the water drains on my property. She was only concerned about what was happening on the street.
Well, knowing that Mrs. Saradaki runs a very tight ship in the district, but she's not an engineer, let's see what the engineer has to say.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Michael Deserni, 67 Madison Avenue. I live next door to Seth. I've been there for 27 years. There's been a water issue across that tract of property for 27 years. It's only worsened now since this, first of all, since the addition was put on School 1, which created a major issue down to one end of the block. But the issue now is now coming further east, if you're going the way towards our properties. Except when I purchased my house, I filled my yard in and raised it up because I used to get School 1 water, I used to get Seth's water, I used to get the other neighbor's water. I filled mine up. But that's not his issue. The issue is that water still lays there, and more so now because of the grade of the property. When they made the parking lot, they built up. The parking lot is higher than the ground. So the runoff, not from the parking, the paved area, but the ground itself, water rolls downhill. And it comes from the parking lot this way towards the house and lays here because of the gully there. They told us, you people told us, at that meeting, they were going to work their way up and put in drainage. If they tied into the guy at the end of the block, they should go to the end of the street, put storm drains in, because all the properties are graded to run their water from the house to the back of the school. Because you can't run water uphill and out to the street, so you have to run to the back. That's the school's issue, because their water runs this way. There should have been drainage put in there.
There was drainage put in, wasn't that right, Mrs. Saradaki?
Yes.
Would they use straws? They didn't use drain pipe.
Oh, yeah, they did.
I've been there for 27 years. I've never seen a backhoe near my fence. So they didn't put any drains in anywhere there.
Yes, they did. They backhoed,
They backhoed where?
on the side, down the side of School One.
Down School One, yeah. I live, the property is not, my property's not by the school, it's back by the parking lot. That's one of my issues, is the water. Not so much the water for me, but my neighbors. My issue is the bright lights that burn all night long for the parking lot that was quote-unquote for faculty parking. If the faculty is there at midnight, I'm a truck driver. I leave my house at 11 o'clock at night. I go to bed at 5 o'clock at night. During the summer, it's not so bad, but during the winter, I got the light shining in there. I sleep in the one room so I don't bother my wife. And the light, and I'm paying for this.
I apologize for that. We actually put switches in so that they could be turned off. I didn't realize they weren't being turned off.
They're on right now.
Okay.
Tell me where the switch is, I'll turn it
Well,
off.
they'd probably be on till 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Is the teacher there at 9 o'clock? I sleep.
Well, there are a lot of extracurricular things and meetings and so forth
Yeah, but
that
the parking
happen
lot
in the evening.
should be utilized. They told us it wouldn't be utilized for anything but faculty parking.
If there are events there.
If there's events, their parents will be parking there.
But thank you for bringing that up to us.
But I will,
Strictly for faculty because you need the spots so they didn't park on the street.
I will look into the lights for you though, because they
So
should not be
you
on.
lie, or you tell us what we want to, you tell us what we want to hear, and then you go and do what you want to do. And then we get stuck with the burden of dealing with all the
No,
facts.
it's not a matter of lying. We needed it for faculty, but would you deny grandparents or somebody coming to a concert from parking if we have parking?
There's
They
no
can park
street
on the
parking.
street like I did when I
Yes, but there's also parking there.
would
But
bus them. I would go to their house and pick them up with a bus and bring them to the school.
But we appreciate you mentioning it about the light, and we're going to follow up on that, because that's an important thing, so.
It is.
But the water's not. My property.
No, that is too, but I'm just saying, Mrs. Saradaki just said.
I could take the lights out with a rock. The water I can't.
We're already said we were following up with the water.
Yesterday was the first time I became aware of the problem.
Now, I'll be home tomorrow.
And-
Because I'm off on
Okay.
Fridays. And I'm going to watch that water. And when I get, I'm going to call you with a picture. I'll send you a
You
video.
want-
I'll FaceTime it live for you.
We could see it, we have cameras, if we have to look at it. We're working on it, we're addressing it. It's not that nobody's taking it seriously, we are
Well,
taking
I
it
mean,
seriously, and we do
this should-
discuss it.
There's a
I
plan.
can't,
There's a plan. When you're developing a plan to build a building, you don't build the building, I'm going to get rid of this water now.
I don't think
It's a
that anybody
group
was
thing.
short-sighted in your properties. I think that the drainage issue that was being addressed was by School One, because that's where it was concentrated. Now, if there's other issues, we have the engineer going to look at it. If they have to run drainage from Park to School One, that may be something that we have to address separately.
Well, I think what you don't understand is we consider School One, we don't just, not the building. Like, my house is 67 Madison, but the driveway's 67 Madison too. Oh, that's not the building. Well, this is what we're trying to tell you. It's the whole piece of property should have been looked at by an engineer when they built the parking lot and said, wait, this property's right towards the houses. That may create a problem because their property comes this way, and our property goes that way.
Well,
Where the
sir,
hell's
you
that
know
water
what?
gonna go?
It was looked at by an
I think you've
engineer.
really made
Well,
your
that engineer's
point, and I
required.
think
You
that
should hire
the 2
another one.
minutes has expired.
Yeah.
So I think we need to
Because
move
I had an
on.
engineer come to my house one day and tell me the water runs uphill.
But we appreciate your input, and like Mrs. Cleary said, we have to go on with the agenda, but we're going to follow up, both,
Well,
she
thank you for
already
your
said
time.
about
I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
I beg your pardon?
I said, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, and we will be following up on both the lights and the water, as we said. Thank you for the information. Is there anyone else? Okay, then, committee reports, I think we have one from curriculum.
Yes, that's right. The curriculum committee met on March 20th with Dr. Mast, Dr. Hayes, John Veninger, the supervisor of mathematics, and Noel Baxter, the supervisor of social studies and art. Tonight, we actually have 2 textbooks here that were presented to us out of need to replace and update 2 of our courses. The first one is Core Plus Mathematics, Course 4, Preparation for Calculus. the current textbook is no longer viable. Mr. Veninger gave us a very thorough presentation. The proposed textbook creates a context to learn advanced algebra and statistics, suggests activities that require collaboration, and will build communication skills in our students, which is something that we are very concerned with, and bridges the Algebra 2 to the calculus. Mr. Veninger also pointed out that a number of other districts he looked at actually provide for an Algebra 3 course in preparation getting to calculus. So this textbook has been identified as compared to a number of others. The established vetting has gone on where teachers, faculty, and students have looked over a number of textbooks. This is the one that the committee, for the purposes outlined, recommends that we do support to bring our students the resource material that they need to be successful. Mr. Veninger also did speak to us about some updates to the proficiencies for function statistics and trigonometry, as well as calculus. So those were normal updating and housekeeping, basically. Ms. Noelle Baxter did present us with also a very thorough presentation requesting a new textbook. The current textbook, I believe is from 2004 and is not really in line with the curriculum as it stands now. So they had a number of textbooks that they did consider, and as with Mr. Veninger, a lot of research was done, including contacting other districts for input. According to Ms. Baxter, the new textbook requested is based on the following. The current textbook is 13 years old and does not adequately support the curriculum for this AP Economics course. The new textbook not only includes the most updated information, but is organized specifically to support the AP Economics curriculum. The chapters are organized differently from the previous text. The text is more clear, utilizing better practical examples, which is something that we work stridently in the district to make it more relatable for our students. And it is, this specific textbook is used by many AP Economics teachers in our area, including those who serve on the AP Test Committee, score the AP exam, and lead College Board workshops on the AP Economics course. So I don't know how more thorough you can get for a recommendation for a textbook. The Curriculum Committee, if anyone has any input, but we do strongly recommend the support of these textbooks.
Okay. Are there any questions? I know a number of you are on that committee and everyone received the report.
We do have the lovely books here if anyone can. Yes.
Okay, seeing no questions, I believe we had reports from the other committees last week. Okay, so that brings us, we already mentioned, we had the LET, so that brings us to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Bauer. Tonight, I would ask that the board approve the out-of-district placements as listed on the agenda. In the first case, it is the addition of a one-to-one aide that is needed to respond to the student's needs. And the second one is actually a change in placement. The student is going from one out-of-district placement to another out-of-district that is more appropriate to the student's needs. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. 2S tonight, I would ask that the Board of Education affirm the superintendent's decisions in the 2 February harassment, intimidation, and bullying cases that were reported in executive sessions on February 16th and February 23rd, 2017.
Second.
I need to abstain from February 23rd.
I have to abstain February 16th for absence.
Who abstained? This one, Stefan?
From the 23rd.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I heard a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. 3S, I would ask that the Board of Ed approve the following textbooks for adoption and use in the 2017-18 school year. Core Plus Mathematics Course 4, Hirschfeld, Hart, Schoen, Watkins. Krugman's Economics for AP, second edition by Margaret Ray and David Anderson. And I would also ask that the board approve the proficiencies for calculus, the math course function, statistics, and trigonometry, and our advanced placement economics course. So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mrs. Saradaki, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Kulikowski?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mrs. Brody?
Yes.
Dr. Clancy?
Yes.
Ms. Suriani?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Cleary?
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer?
Yes. Thank you. And 4S, I would like the board to actually reapprove the Terrell Middle School field trip, simply because they want to now attend the Air and Space Museum. Unfortunately, they were scheduled to go to the Holocaust Museum, but tickets were not available. So they're still going to Washington, still will be doing a great trip, but they have a slight change in where
Just
they're going.
for point of fact, I found that interesting, but when I read further, I found out that they already were planning on going to a number of other locations as well.
They were approved last time.
Yes, they were, and so it made it, my original question was, how does one kind of replace the other? But it's not, in fact, it's part of a whole experience of the day, yeah, so just for a little clarity.
So moved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then I would like that the board approve the personnel agenda as reviewed in exec this evening.
Second.
Could you please call, could you please call the roll, Mrs. Saradaki?
Dr. Kulikowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mrs. Brody?
Yes.
Dr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mrs. Suriani?
Yes.
Mrs. Cleary?
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer?
Yes.
Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. Okay, we again have an opportunity, if anyone in the audience would like to come to the microphone and speak to the board, this is your opportunity. Please give us your name, the town in which you reside.
Amy Boroff, 27 Laurel Place, Fanwood, New Jersey. I want to say thank you for the coffee that we had with the superintendent. We always tend to have a pretty good turnout for that, and I find it to be such a useful thing for people like me who always meander into a lot of questions and gives a lot of great insight. And to that point, there were a few things that came up that like every other conversation, were unexpected, like the fruit during, wasted lunches and stuff, and the curriculum updates that are coming. And is it the correct forum to follow up? What is the correct forum to follow up on information like that whether we want to get involved as in, your neighbors and, or if we just want to follow up with things?
For items relative to food service, you reach out to Mrs. Saradaki. For anything related to curriculum, you reach out either to Dr. Mast or to myself.
Okay.
Okay?
And then this is the strangest question in the entire world. I just want to see that, if anything, it was resolved. Were the scales in the bathroom removed from Terrell Middle School in the locker rooms?
That was supposed to happen,
Okay.
yes.
That did happen.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay? But thank you for bringing that to our attention, because I know that was raised, so it was helpful feedback, yes.
Okay. Seeing no one else, we're going to move on to the business functions, Mrs. Saradaki.
I'd like to group them, if that's okay.
Okay.
1BUS, I'm asking for the board's approval of the superintendent's recommendations for staff training reimbursements on the report dated March 30th, 2017. 2BUS, I'm asking for the board to acknowledge receipt of the disbursement listings for the month of February 2017. 3BUS, I'd like the board's acknowledgement of receipts of the district school security and fire drill reports for the month of February 2017. 4BUS, I'd like the board to approve additional related services from private vendors for the 2016-17 school year. These are from First Children, School-Based Therapy Services, and the Craig School. 5BUS, I'd like the board's approval for the roof and masonry bids that we received. This is for projects for this summer at the high school and Brunner Elementary School. The lowest bid withdrew his bid due to calculation errors. And so the second lowest bid is the one I'm recommending. It's been reviewed by our attorney, Cap Boehm, and also by the architect. And they both recommend the approval of VMG Group in the amount of $2.5 million. 6BUS is the approval of receipt accepting the EEF grants for this school year in the amount of $6,349. 7BUS was approved on March 16th. 8BUS, I'd like the board to approve purchase of tables, chairs, shelving units, and sofas for the Park Middle School Media Center in the amount of $118,867.84. This is all being purchased under the Middlesex Regional Ed Services County bid as well as state contract. 9BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve heating and air conditioning for replacement at Coles and Evergreen on the modular classrooms, Park Middle School first floor, Terrell Middle School second floor, and Terrell Middle School cafeteria. This is being done under the Ed Data Co-op pricing bid, and the total amount for all individual projects is $518,374. That would be done primarily this summer. 10BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the contract renewal with Pomptonian Food Services for the 2017-18 school year at a 1.5% increase. The increase for last year was 0, and the increase allowed by the state for this year for them is 1.5%. 11BUS and 12BS were approved at March 16th meeting. 13BUS, I'm asking for the board's approval of purchase and installation of multipurpose room tables at Evergreen School. This will be the final elementary school. All the lunchrooms then will have up-to-date tables with locking mechanisms that are up-to-date. And the total cost for these tables is $58,199.76, and the funding for this will be drawn from the Cafeteria Enterprise Fund. 14BUS, I'd like the board's approval of the Board Secretary Report, Treasurer of School Fund Reports, and budget adjustments for the month of February 2017. 15BUS, I'd like the board's approval of the bill list for the period February 17th, 2017 through March 27th, 2017 in the amount of $5,894,864.65. 16BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve disposal, us to advertise again on govdeals.com for the disposal of the listed equipment. It's miscellaneous technology equipment that's outdated. And then 17BUS, I'm asking for the board's approval of transportation services through Union County Ed Services for the 2017-18 school year. And what they do is they bid out routes for us, and they charge us a 4% administration fee for handling that. And that is some of our routes for non-public schools, but it's primarily our special ed transportation out of district, for out-of-district schools. 18BUS, I'd like the board's approval of the extended school year transportation. This is through Amaker and Porterfield. We do a lot of our extended school year transportation, and this is for the routes that we don't have enough employees to cover. So, then on the additions to the agenda, 19BUS, I'd like the board's approval of continuing our contract with Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council renewal. We did get good pricing through this, and The cost is $1,250 a year. This is the resolution that's required for us to continue membership with them. 20 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the equipment price. The board already approved of us disposing of this equipment through govdeals.org. I'm just asking after the fact for the fact we were able to sell all of the equipment, and the total price was $1,035.09. 21 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve submission and acceptance of a 2017 safety grant. This is through New Jersey Schools Insurance Group, which we became part of with our workers' comp insurance, and they give us an annual safety grant, which I would like to use this year for, we generally replace some sidewalks every year, and I'd like to use it toward the replacement of some of the cracked sidewalks that we have for a safer environment for the
Okay.
staff and students.
Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions about any of these items? I know we had the chance to ask questions last week, and everything was discussed in committees as well. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That brings us to board policies. Mr. Murray.
Yes. So, for first reading of policies, move that the Board of Education approve first reading on March 30th, 2017 for adoption of the following board policies. I went through these in the last meeting in a little additional detail, so I'll just read the high-level policy and corresponding regulations that are attached. So, Policy 2460, Special Education, Regulation 2460 alongside of it. Regulation 2460.1, Special Education Location Identification and Referral. Regulation 2460.8, Special Education Free and Appropriate Public Education. Regulation 2460.9, Special Education Transition from Early Intervention Programs to Preschool. Regulation 2460.15, Special Education In-Service Training Needs for Professional and Paraprofessional Staff. Regulation 2460.16, Special Education Instructional Material to blind or print disabled students, and Policy 2467, surrogate parents and foster parents.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Do we have to?
Yes. I'll be second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. New board business. Anyone? Under other board business, request to attend workshops.
Nancy, we had gotten an email about Samsung. There's a center in New York, and there's one up in northern New Jersey, and they were offering an educational event. It's free. And there are 2 days. One is in April on the 6th at the Samsung in New Jersey, Challenger Road, Ridgeville Park, and the other one is New York City, April 20th, Washington Street. And is this considered a workshop, or is this just an event? There's no fee?
It's probably just an event.
So it would be all right if I could get available to go to attend? Yes. Okay.
Or you can ask for a motion and we'll approve you tonight.
Well,
There's no cost. We'll approve you.
Yeah, there's no, because I have to get the day off first.
Right.
Otherwise, if I can, I would love to.
Or you can be approved, and if you can't go,
Okay.
no
Well, then
harm, no foul.
Can I have a motion so that I can attend the event
Yes,
on
who'd
the
like to make a
20th?
motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So thank you. If you can gather information for us, that would be great. Workshop reports. As Dr. Hayes, I think she may have mentioned, but there was a Garden State Coalition of Schools meetings yesterday. And in addition to myself and Dr. Hayes, Deb Brody went with us. And most of the meeting, actually, we had a guest speaker who is one of the candidates for governor. He's a Republican candidate, and they're trying to have everyone all the candidates come. His name was I don't know if I say his last name correctly, Citarelli. And he's from the 16th Congressional District in the New Jersey General Assembly. And if anyone wants to check him out, he's at jack4gov.com, and we'll give the information for all the other candidates when they come. So most of the meeting, he was very prepared with educational topics, and there were a lot of very specific questions from board members and superintendents about school funding, just everything that's of concern to districts, really, the 2% cap, so forth. So he was very prepared with his responses, and so it was a good meeting, and most of the meeting was really spent on that. There was some updating in terms of activity in Trenton, but nothing earth-shattering. I don't know, you all can add to that. There's something else you'd like to report on?
I don't know. It's my first time there, so it was like taking it all in. It was very interesting, though. It was a good group to go to.
We're waiting to see where the state goes with its update of the ESSA. And Garden State is tracking very carefully the state's plan to implement a different form of student teaching for prospective teachers. And we're watching how that rolls out, and a number of members of Garden State are giving the New Jersey Department of Ed a lot of very clear feedback about what's workable and what is perhaps has some challenges to it.
Yes.
And the next meeting will be Myla Jacey, Assemblywoman Myla Jacey will be there, and her focus will be on charter schools and charter school reform.
Yes, and that was another area certainly of questions also for the gubernatorial candidate. And the same questions, I'm sure, will be asked of every candidate who comes. So we have a resolution for National Autism Awareness Month for April. Do we have someone who would like to read the resolution? Okay, Deb Brody?
Move that the Board of Education adopt the following. Whereas autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that results in difficulties with communication and social interaction, as well as repetitive behaviors. Whereas autism can affect anyone regardless of race, ethnicity, or other factors. Whereas it is both a moral and fiscal imperative that services be made available that maximize the potential of each unique child, adult living with autism to contribute to the greatest extent possible to the society and economy of the United States. Whereas it is well established that early intervention can improve outcomes by significantly improving the cognitive language and adaptive skills of people with autism. Whereas a variety of physical, medical, and mental health issues may accompany autism, resulting in marked functional impairment in all activities of daily living. Whereas these conditions may include epilepsy, Down syndrome, Fragile X syndrome, gastrointestinal problems, immune system disorders, sleep disturbance, sensory integration dysfunction, and metabolic disorders. Whereas many individuals on the autism spectrum face co-occurring mental health challenges, including anxiety, obsessive compulsions, and depressions. Whereas individuals living with autism are highly valued and deserve the highest level of dignity and acceptance by society. And now, therefore, be it resolved, April 2017 would be an appropriate month to designate as National Autism Awareness Month to increase public awareness of the need to support individuals with autism and the family members and medical professionals who care for individuals with autism. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education expresses support designating April 2017 as National Autism Awareness Month, recognizes and commends both individuals living with autism and the parents and relatives of those individuals for their sacrifice and dedication.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I know no one's opposed. Next, we need a motion regarding our schedule of board meeting dates for 2017, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we have a lot to mark on the calendar if people haven't already. Okay, approval of the minutes for February.
So moved. I need to abstain from February 24th.
Well, let's have a second.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second, thank you.
Now I
Okay.
need to abstain. I abstain as well.
I need to abstain, I believe.
For
from-
both meetings? The 23rd.
For me, it's the 16th.
For me, it's the executive on the 23rd.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, in accordance with policy 0164 and 0165, this is the final opportunity for anyone who would like to come to the microphone and speak to the board. Okay. Don't forget to tell us your name and the town in which you reside.
Lisa Schiff in Scotch Plains. I'm only asking this question because you guys brought up the special ed busing. So it's going to be Amaker and Porter. Is there a reason why the contracts for busing start on the first day of school versus the day before? And I ask that because my son has been distraught, literally horribly distraught, because buses are not showing up and they're late and they haven't run through their routes. So I just wondered when the contracts actually start. Is it the first day of school, or is it the day before?
Our contracts start on the first day of school, but they are supposed to be running through the route before that.
So Amaker, I think, has done that in the past. Not every bus driver does it, I don't think. And then that's only, are they supposed to run through them for the regular school year too? Because they definitely don't do that.
They are, if they have the bus drivers available. I will try to address that with them.
Yeah, I wonder if we could require it, actually. I mean, I don't know why that would be, even for the kids to see the bus, if there's a way that the kids can actually see the bus, say hello to the bus driver so the stress is reduced. That's a lot to ask because everybody has to be home at the same time.
Mhm.
But at least to know that the bus routes are being run, so that if you happen to be there and see the bus, or just to know that they know their routes. Their stress on these kids is horrendous. I mean, really, really bad.
And oftentimes they don't run according to schedule on the first day just because
100%.
of the stress with the students.
But not only do they not run on schedule, they say, this is my first time running the route, and they're going all different directions.
Okay.
So I just wondered if as part of the contract, we could sort of say, start the day before, because that would, I really think, would reduce a lot of stress.
Well, we certainly can follow up about
Yeah.
them running the routes and
Yeah.
check on that.
Okay.
That's good feedback, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? Okay, so that brings us to the good of the order. Dr. Kulikowski.
Okay, I have three things. First, I want to thank Joan for inviting me to come see the Finding the Artist Within, the Student Within. Earlier this evening, the teachers who are the artists in that program have their lovely artwork in our executive
They're
boardroom.
phenomenal.
And yes, they are. And so we get to meet the artists and see their creations and telling of their improvements, and that they express the joyousness that they receive from participating in the program. And it was truly wonderful to see all of the creations.
Including our own Dr. Mast.
Yes, yes. Not to let that go by. I got some more thank yous from the children at school. One from my Reading Across America on March 3rd, totally unexpected, but thoroughly thrilled, and I can't wait to read them. And then last Thursday, Dr. Hayes and myself, Dr. Heisey, we went to the Unsung Heroes presentation that was held at Union County Votech Baxell Hall to recognize 31 students across Union County. Emily Locatell was from our high school, but there was one from every other high school in our county. Some of the stories were, heart-wrenching of the things that they had to go through just to get to school every day and to be present every day and to be a student. not just homework, but other complications to their life. And it was just amazing, and I was so fortunate to be able to be there that night to hear these stories. So just wanted to share that.
It is always very moving. I'm glad you were there. Anyone else? Mrs. Brody?
I went to the district choral concert last night, and I haven't been to a choral concert. I can't even tell you how many years, because my children did not continue after they didn't have to continue. Let's put it that way. But it was wonderful. A lot of talent. It was really very nice, and they had every kid up on stage at the end, and they all sang a song together. It was very nice.
Wonderful.
I was at, actually, our honoring of our winter athletes tonight was the third. The winter athletes have been honored in many venues. The town council actually invited several of the individuals and teams that had met a certain standard to come. So I don't know that the town council had ever done that before, but it was very nice. And like us, they have resolutions. So the kids all had resolutions. And also the winter athletic awards held in the gym, which was Tuesday night. So I have to say that our winter scholar athletes have gotten lots of accolades. So it's time to get back to work. And homework, no more. And,
For the spring.
Right, until the spring.
Anyone
Nice
else?
events.
Well, it shows the diversity of talents of the students in our schools, athletics, music, you know, all kinds of talents. So we're very proud of all of them.
Yeah, and I would actually add to that. I learned every time you learn something new. Our girls and boys track teams train together, and it's a huge group. I forget now how many, but there are just a lot of of our teams really have a lot of kids involved, and it's really wonderful, as well as the wrestling team, which I guess is very large as well. And I learned that Dr. Heisey sometimes goes in after school and helps judging, because he was a former wrestler, and they have so many kids that they want everybody to have the opportunity to be in matches, so he also helps out. But a lot of kids are involved with, you know, keeping themselves healthy so they can be better students.
Oh, I did want to actually say something. I was reading, actually, like the public will, about the police departments being involved with our middle school students with sports. And I was so heartened to read that, because I know that different organizations in the community have stepped up and helped with that situation when we unfortunately several years back had to cut middle school sports. But to see the local police get involved with our students, it's such a wonderful thing, and I couldn't have been happier about it. So I just wanted to publicly say thank you to both departments, and I know many children would benefit from that going forward. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone. If we can have a motion to adjourn, we'll see each other. I should remind, though, before we do, that the budget presentation, the PTA Council budget presentation, 9:30 on April 5th, and then on April 19th, 9:30 in the morning and 7:30 in the evening. And then we'll be meeting again on April 20th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No one's opposed. Have a good evening, everyone.